All right, I'm back for WCS's ongoing coverage of ESL Challenger Atlanta, and I'm here with dephh, unfortunately, at the end of the road for M80. So during that series, it looked like multiple times that you could have been able to force a third map, especially on Mnmzzz. What do you think mainly went wrong today?
I feel like we had a good game plan for today, but it's just kind of what happens when you replace your caller last minute. It's like the whole system that Mnmzzz has given this team. It's them moments when you need to tweak your game that we struggled at today. So I'm really proud of how the guys conducted themselves, regardless of just like a coach having to come in and call last minute. So yeah, really proud of the guys.
And how do you feel about how you did? Do you think you rose to the occasion today, or what do you think kind of ultimately went down?
My last pro game was like late 2018, I think 2019, and yeah, obviously everyone is so good here. I think I played okay, but I won't be looking back on it and thinking, oh, I should have done more, because I had like a week really to get ready.
And what's sort of the attitude like in the team right now? Was it kind of, once you knew Mnmzzz was going to make it, were you guys just, was there an expectation to go further, or was it just kind of, okay, we'll take our, we'll cut our losses and just try to play this event best we can?
Yeah, we were definitely in like a fuck it kind of style, like whatever happens, happens. We really wanted at least one win. That was kind of the goal here. So, I mean, we played some teams close, so not too bad of a result, I think.
And of course, this is only, I believe, M80's second or third land at this point, and people will be looking to, take anything away from this event. Should they even take anything away from this event?
I think just getting used to a crowd, getting used to the noises, playing on stage out of your setup at home. Apart from that, no, I don't think so. I think these guys are ready for some international experience, especially some practice again in Europe. So really excited to get back to Europe and see how we do.
Now, focusing on something a bit more positive, we've seen slaxz have a really great debut in the month and a half he's been with M80 since making the jump from alternate attacks. How do you rate his progress so far transitioning to an international squad?
He's great. I think adding him to just the way that Europeans think about CS, and Mnmzz's calling style. So now we have a Danish guy and a German guy, both kind of collating their ideas of how they think they should play CS. And I just think we've dramatically improved, not just by getting a stronger AWPer potentially, but also just the team and the way that we play is better also.
And there's been a lot said about M80 trying to transition towards sort of a European playing style. I think that was a big focus when Don even assembled the team. Was we cannot be an NA team, we kind of have to be a European team when it comes to the essentials. How do you feel the progress has been getting sort of Rex, Swisher, and Mnmzzz up to speed to being European, air quotes European players?
Yeah, we wanted to take some guys from NA that were unproven, but we saw potential in, and then kind of introduce more European style of system. The Danish system is obviously a thing that's been going around for a long time now. A lot of great Danish callers, and all of the teams, regardless of the players that play on their team, are successful. So we knew bringing Mnmzzz in, having his system, and having the players in NA follow was going to make them play really good and up for European competition.
Now, if we're looking sort of to do a post-mortem of M80's entrance into Counter-Strike, I believe you've been with the team for about 4 to 5 months about now, since I believe around August when the roster first started playing matches. If you had to sort of sum up as a post-mortem of the entire year in aggregate, what do you think about how M80's done?
I think M80, we're at the point now where we've kind of outgrown NA competition, especially just the online stuff online. I think we're ready for going to the boot camps. Next year is going to be crazy because we obviously start the major qualifiers early in January, and then we see ourselves in a few more tournaments before the first half of the year. So we're excited to get back to Europe, get practice in, and go to some of these bigger events.
Yeah, and with that in mind, I believe, as far as I'm aware, you guys have locked in Katowice as well. With it being so busy, do you think you guys are going to have time to prep for the major? Because I'm assuming the major is sort of the main squeeze of why M80 exists more or less.
Yeah, so right now it's just visa stuff that we're trying to figure out. Obviously, some of our other players will be better off with visas, so we're trying to fine tune when the best time to get visas is. But obviously the player break, we go into the qualifier pretty early in January, so it doesn't give us a lot of time, but it also doesn't give any team a lot of time. So we know that we're on this pretty much the same playing field as most of the teams that is going to be at the major.
Now, you mentioned earlier the fact that you feel like you guys have outgrown a lot of the NA opposition. I think that's a problem a lot of these teams like Complexity, M80, other sort of top-level domestic squads run into. We've seen other squads like now sort of try to break the glass ceiling and break out to international. Do you think any other squads are ready for to take the next step, or are you guys kind of an island all by yourself right now?
I think it goes Complexity, us, and I think right now NRG might be creeping into that kind of sector. We can tell just from playing us that they're learning probably quicker than any other NA team we played so far, and obviously they just formed. So I think NRG is one to watch out for, but I think apart from us and Complexity, a lot of the other guys in NA aren't playing a European style or system, and it looks a bit random at times.
Now, you mentioned, DAPS's recently formed energy project is one that could potentially, be a squad that can sort of break into the European sort of playstyle, European scene, not just be a domestic squad. As someone who is a contemporary to DAPS when you both in your playing careers, how do you feel about him returning to play? A lot of people have been very down on him. As his contemporary, do you think he still has it in him?
I think he's always competed in NA really well. Like every time I remember playing DAPS, he popped off. He like having a good game every time he played my team. But I'm just unsure. Like the guys at the Tier 1 events now in Europe are so clean. They're just so crisp. So it's really hard to be an older guy, also calling, and be able to handle yourself in the server. So I hope him the best, but I just know like it's really difficult to balance that.
Now, before I let you go, obviously we're heading into the winter player break right around the corner. But after that, what's the first thing you guys are going to do when you get back together?
I think we're going instantly into a boot camp. I think that's the plan. We do the Americas qualifier, and then we go boot camp into Katowice. So that's the plan right now. And then we're hoping that we can spend the majority of next year in Europe because it's where all the good practice is, basically.
So I guess that kind of gives me one more question. Do we think we'll see you guys in ECL next year, in NA ECL?
Not sure yet. Potentially. We can do the flip-flopping, especially when we get some of the European guys on visas. It's going to just make our lives way easier. We see Complexity right now floating between NA and EU, and we kind of see ourselves a bit like that.
All right, thank you so much for your time, dephh, and commiserations on the loss today. I'm sure we'll see M80 back in action soon.